In the first video, I showed you guys the best way to get to Hakone from Tokyo, and then took you on the Hakone Sightseeing Loop to show you all the highlights of the area, like the volcanic Owakudani and the beautiful Lake Ashi. So do check out that video first if you haven't already. And I've just finished watching the sunset over Lake Ashinoko here at the town of Moto Hakone, and I've splurged a little bit tonight. I've booked a Japanese ryokan with a kaiseki dinner included. So the Japanese ryokan that I booked is this one, Hotel Musashiya. It's still on the cheaper end of the nicer ryokans, so it is a splurge, but it's not like I'm breaking the bank here. Okay, so time to give you guys a tour of my Japanese ryokan for the night. So over here is the bathroom. Pretty standard, tiny Japanese bathroom, as you can see. But that's okay because you're meant to be spending time in the onsen anyway. You got the Japanese style sliding doors. Ooh, it's a pretty big room for 1 to 2 people. It's plenty of space. Very traditional Japanese style. You got the tatami mats on the ground. And here you got the main table. That's where dinner will be served. Over here you also got the yukata, which are Japanese style bathrobes that you can wear around the onsen. So I'm gonna put it on. And then I think this thing is supposed to go around and tighten it like a belt. This is like a jacket that goes around the outside. Alright, ready to head down to the onsen. And I paid a little bit extra for the lake view, so you get a nice table right next to the lake where you can get a view of the sunset. Dinner has just arrived. So in the Japanese kaiseki dinner, there are many courses, and I think they're gonna bring all the course out in one go. Still going. How much food is there? Ooh, like a hot pot. Okay, so here is our Japanese banquet, the Kaiseki dinner. Everything looks so beautiful and delicious. So let's go through each one of them. Here we got some udon noodles, and I believe that is agedashi tofu, followed by some desserts. And here we got 2 massive chunks of tempura. I'm not even sure what's inside. We got a hot pot that's still boiling. Inside you can see some mushrooms, some veggies, and looks like pork. Over here we got a barbecue fish wrapped inside the paper, as well as some ham. Beneath we got some fresh sashimi. And finally, this is some kind of soup with that might be a potato. But yeah, what a beautiful meal. I can't wait to dig in. So I'm not even sure what I should be starting with. Everything looks so good. I'm gonna start with the sashimi because that's probably the freshest thing here. You can see it's a nice little boat. Tastes good. It's like smoked salmon. It's not fully raw, I think. Here we got a big chunk of white thing. Might be squid. Yeah, I think it's squid. Oh, that's a huge chunk of squid. Well, at the very least, I know this one is definitely a shrimp. It's a pretty big shrimp as well. Oh, that's fresh. So I think the hot pot is done. And get some of the soup. Ooh, look at that. You can tell it's rich and full of flavor. Probably some kind of pork broth. And normally not a big fan of vegetables, but since this is a special meal, get some of that. Spring onions, I think. And of course, get all that juicy pork slices. Ooh. I'm gonna try the soup first. Oh, it's hot. Oh yeah, it's so rich. Pork flavored broth. Try some of the pork. Really fatty and tender. Because they use these really thin slices, it kind of soaks in the flavor of the soup. That's delicious. Next up, unwrap the fish. Wow. Ah, so it's been barbecued with veggies inside. There you go, that's the big piece of fish in there. I think it's salmon, yeah. And the skin of the salmon is flavored with a little bit of salt and pepper. The inside is barbecued to a point where they kind of just fall apart in your mouth. Next up, we're gonna try the tempura. Kind of weird to hold it with your chopsticks. Yeah, I guess it works like that. How am I supposed to eat this? Kind of awkward. You can see on the inside, it's like kind of like a cake. I think it's like a prawn cake. Yeah, I can taste a little bit of prawn in there. There's a lot of dough inside, so if anything, I'll get full. And here is the other piece of tempura. Not quite sure what it is. If you look on the inside, again, it's like some kind of cake. It tastes good, that's all I know. I have no idea what it is. Next up, I'm gonna try this bowl of like potato mash thing. Mashed potato is always great. I just wasn't expecting traditional Japanese banquet to have mashed potato. This one here is the agadashi tofu, I believe. Oh. It's a little spicy actually. Some little bits of chili in there. And the thing on top I think is shredded crab. Oh yeah, that's delicious. I actually don't think that this is tofu. It's almost like a crab jelly. And lastly, we got the udon. We're gonna chuck this right here. Put it over there. Chuck that away. There we go. Get some of that spring onion in there. Then I think we can just mix it up. Nice and refreshing. The thing I poured in there is kind of like soy sauce. It goes down super easy. This would actually be perfect in summer when you need something to cool you down. For me, the best part about Kaiseki Ryori is getting to try such a huge variety of local dishes, most of which I would have otherwise never known about. Actually, I figured out what this is. If you look closely at a tempura cake, you can see all those little black dots. Those are eyes. So this is all made out of shirasu, the tiny little white fish that's very popular to this area. So this is actually a fish tempura cake. After dinner, the staff will put out a futon for you to sleep on. Traditional ryokans do not have beds, so you'll be sleeping directly over the tatami floor.
Thank you.
Oh, alright, 7:30 in the morning, and I'm ready for breakfast. They were waiting for me. Oh, okay. Good morning. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Alright, looks like I signed up for a big breakfast. First up is a piece of fried fish. I think this is either saba or mackerel. This looks like half-boiled egg in soy sauce. This looks like some fish cakes. More fish cake. That's vegetables, we can ignore that. This looks like tofu. And we got some sausages over there. Self-explanatory. Alright, let's dig in. I have no idea which one to eat first, so I'm gonna try the fish. How are you supposed to eat this? I think you can eat the whole thing. Nice and crunchy on the outside. It's a little bit seasoned with some salt. Now these kind of fish are very common Japanese breakfast, but for me it's a little bit weird to be eating fish in the morning. Next up I'm going to try this, I think it's fish cake. It's like fish cake wrapped in tofu. It's a really soft texture inside. Next up, a different type of fish cake. There's a very strong fish flavor in this one, so this is a proper fish cake. The sauce is wasabi, so it was a little spicier than I thought. And then finally, the sausage. It's a typical sausage. I think they might have just put this in for the Western tourists in case, you know, they need something they're more familiar with for breakfast. Got a little bit of time after breakfast, so I decided to go on a little walk to the Hakone Shrine, which is only about a 10-minute walk from Moto Hakone town. This is where you can find that torii gate out on Lake Ashinoko that we saw on the pirate ship yesterday. A path surrounded by huge cedar trees takes you to the main building of the Hakone Shrine. The shrine dates back to the 8th century, with the original shrine still at the Komagatake Peak, which can be accessed today via cable car. Here you can pray and make a small offering to have your fortune told, or by charms to protect yourself, and write a wish to hang up at the shrine. And just a short walk from the Hakone Shrine is the torii gate that sticks out from the waters of Lake Ashinoko. Now when you get up close, it's actually really massive. From the boat it looks tiny, but up close it's really big. And you can see there are tons of people waiting around to take pictures with the shrine in the background.